Hey everybody, Agent Fluffy here. I'm going to do another fanfic read of Reharmonized Ponies. This time I have my friend here, Pinkie Pie. Hello! I can't wait! So, anyway, keep in mind this is going to be a very, 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 very long chapter. Of course. So, I hope you guys enjoy the ride. So, anyway, let's get started. Let's go! Reharmonization Pinkie, laughing together.
Whoa! And hello! Don't go! Never fear! Pinkie Pie is here! Sorry for taking so long. Cleaned up after a big Save the World party, took a lot longer than I thought it would. I kept you waiting a while. What? A long while? What? It's been over 10 weeks now since Mr. Discord was defeated? Why was second season of the third episode taking so long to air? Well, I'm sure as you have told you in the previous chapters, even with Mr. Discord making Princess Alexia's Royal Gardens just a bit sillier looking again, a lot of ponies have been really hurt on the inside. So I've been throwing parties non-stop for 3 weeks, for everyone and anyone. My parties never fail to cheer someone up, except Gilda. But she was a meaty, couldn't laugh at herself, so she doesn't count, right? Right! Oh, have the parties been kind of a drain on Jerky Corner's reserves? Okay, a little. But Mr. and Mrs. Cakes are making sure we keep it stocked. I've been pitching in extra hours too when not partying. It's a pity about Mr. Discord. He had so many fun ideas. Chocolate rain, cotton candy clouds, and the roads made out of soap. That was so cool! And I just loved the patterns he came up from the ground. And I think Big Mac was happier as a dog. Why do you have to ruin it by making those all meanie pants? Well, it hasn't affected me at all. Nope, not in the least. I mean, I was gray. Can you imagine me being gray? I guess you don't have to, because you are too, right? But come on, how silly it is for Pink to buy to be gray. Maybe I can ask a pig to make rain chocolate milk chunk in class on my next birthday. I asked Twilight if we could have that all the time, but she said the class wouldn't like that and included weed, which means she said there wouldn't be no flour, there would be no cupcakes, and... Would you shut up about that stupid fanfic already? Oh, sorry. Sleep? What's that? Oh, right. I really hadn't had time to sleep in the last few weeks. You see, with parties for every pony and baking with the cakes, but it's okay. I found this great stuff called coffee. It really tastes awful, but it really works wonders. I can't really remember the first time I tried it, but for some reason the next thing I remembered was that I had iron weights on my hooves and Mrs. Cakes with a key around my neck. Twilight said I was trying to be in so many places at once I was damaging the space-time continuum or something. I'm sure she's just joking. Me? Damage reality? That's just silly. Anywho, a lot has been going on in these last few weeks. With my 24-hour parties to help cheer every pony up, I've been hearing everything. Twilight said she's worried about the me partying life for every pony. It's an evasion reflex that I'm using to not think about me being grumpy at the Discord and maybe think again when my friends were really my friends. Well, that's so silly. A lot of things happen lately. I just think about it and I just laugh it off. Like I was saying, the Kitty My Crusaders turned in that extra homework on Discord like they were supposed to. Miss Shirley was so glad to see them so diligent, she broke down crying right there in front of the entire class and told the entire class to go home early. Wasn't that nice? Applebloom, for some weird reason, said she was worried she was going to get into trouble for that. Applebloom not Shirley, dude. Like, when Applebloom left Applejack all alone in every forest on a branch, when Applejack is the size of doll thanks to the poison joke. I don't get how that was supposed to be a joke. None of us laughed. Apparently, after all, sure with the bath, Applebloom got spanked hard by Granny Smith, till her butt was as red as her mane. Who would have thought leaving your micronized big sister in the middle of a dangerous predator of forest all alone could get you into trouble? And Twilight's been doing these boring talks about how she thinks in retrospect that Discord's trying to prove to Celestia that friendship couldn't stand up to adversity, since he was clearly powerful enough to squash us like bugs if he wanted. And she's been acted by the doctors at the hospital at some very rude ponies stay at the moment to give this one Pegasus gossamer wings. How silly it is to give Pegasus wings when you already have them. So you see, I still have plenty to laugh about. Huh? You're wondering why I'm scared of parties now because of what Discord did in Balloon Garden? That'd be like a rarity being scared of diamonds. Or maybe that's fake thinking that tiny clouds of Cloudsdale are Fluttershy now on split personalities. What do you mean I should know? Or Applejack to flawlessly align herself with the element of honesty, looking into the heart of the cosmos. Of course, I read the previous chapters. There's no way I'm into any kind of denial. I've never been to Egypt, except for that one time with Old Man. What was that sound I just made? Oh, right. It's called a yawn. Wow. I feel kinda... What's that word again? Oh, right. Sleepy. That's okay. Just some soda or coffee or some pixie sticks and... Oh, there. No problem. I'll just trot over to the kitchen and I'll just close my eyelids for just a second. I can make it in and out with my eyes closed, no problem. I can...
So the coffee's thrown out? All of it? AJ? Rainbow?
Twilight Sparkle called.
Every last drop, Twilight.
AJ said it like it was a military operation. I checked all were normal and not normal hiding places. I also found a copy of 100 Best Pranks for Phillies I loaned her last month. Rainbow Dash added, which I loaned you from the library 4 months ago. Twilight said, sounding ever so slightly agitated. I was gonna return it eventually. What's a straight arrow like you doing with a book like that anyway? It wasn't mine. It came from the library. Apparently it was a favorite Princess Celestia's. Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. AJ said under her breath. Well, as Nate's Pinkie dear can finally get some sleep. My word, the cakes are practically begging us to get her to go to bed, Rarity said.
I can still say we all gone with the ropes inside of the bed.
We did, remember? She slipped out of them in 8.4 seconds. Twilight reminded them.
How in tarnation did it come up with 8.4 seconds? Did you have a stopwatch or something?
No, AJ. I just figured it wasn't going to work and let's keep counting in my head. Twilight said factually. In 0.0 seconds? Rainbow Dash asked, still confused. You'd be surprised how many spells requires that much precision to cast. Rarity shook her head. If you can't stand in the middle of the room on your own snoring sleep, we are civilized ponies here. Pinkie Pie mumbled in her sleep. Chocolate sea salt, strawberry peppercorn, hazel chocolate bacon bourbon, vanilla caramel corn, banana pecan topping. Yes, we do have those icy words. Half a quarter gallon. I know a lot of brownies didn't like the live stage performance. Princess Luna returned in the episode. I'll get her to bed and make sure she stays there. Fluttershy said, gently lifting the snoozing hyperactive pony. Okay, Repony, party's over, Twilight called out. Thank you all for coming. We hope you enjoyed yourselves, and Princess Luna, willing, we all hope you all have only sweet dreams tonight. The ponies began to shuffle out to return to their homes. The sun was still a few minutes away from setting, but no one argued. Some ponies actually looked rather relieved. Even the incredible, unexpected, and passive Gummy, Pinkie Pie's pet alligator, managed to somehow look relieved at Pinkie Pie's partying rampage had ended and scurried under something to catch up on his own precious sleep. The flower pony trio of Lily, Roseluck, and Daisy learned on again, off again, friend Berry Punch away from several empty punch bowls. She hadn't been trying to drown her sorrows. It had been therapy to recover from everything she tried to drink, from water to wine tasting like battery acid during Discord's raid. It was progress. She had by now been convinced by her fair weather friends that she was going to turn everyone around into cardboard cutouts if she sneezed, like she was sure 2 weeks ago. The flower ponies only confided what Discord had done to them into each other to the psychologists they were seeing as a group. Lily had something to do with thinking she was invisible, and then any flower that gone within 10 feet of Rose like dying. Pinkie Pie kept mumbling her sleep as Fluttershy flew upstairs.
Twilight, you should really take some lessons from the first Twilight Sparkle. She was cuter than you and liked making wishes. Did you know she was best friends with the Firefly? Who's that? Firefly's Rainbow Dash's direct ancestor, and was even more of a daredevil than her. Oh, and Spitfire is her descendant too, I think. That makes her and Rainbow Dash cousins. Maybe I should throw her a party. That's all very nice, Pinkie Pie. Fluttershy said softly with a smile on her face.
There goes our chance.
Rainbow Dash said under her breath, looking down. Applejack put a hoop on her shoulder and said quietly in her ear,
You know, you really don't need to tell the others all at once. I know it's painful, but I know they already forgiven you. You already told them what Discord did.
Rainbow Dash whispered.
And I should tell Cloudsteel too, in honesty.
AJ whispered back, Look, none of us were thinking straight after that varmint Discord gave us all the evil eye. I know you're thinking where I was, but Discord wasn't playing fair. You know we had the whole thing rigged. First I said he just clonked her on the head when she wasn't biting onto his hogwash.
Rainbow Dash sighed.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll tell your pony in the morning whether it's all together or not. I promise.
That a girl.
AJ smiled.
It just isn't fair. I finally psyched myself out to tell Pony it wasn't fair.
The Earth Pony said in a perfectly calm, peaceful voice.
Sure, Q. It just isn't fair as the truth of everything. Well, good night. From example, might help scare away your nightmares tonight.
Rainbow Dash looked at AJ, who was hugged to Pegasus, and turned to leave. Ever since AJ came back for that one visit with the princess, she had been calmer, almost most accepting of things. She was still AJ, but there was something AJ that made AJ. AJ had changed. Rarity said,
I shall be going now too. I have some personal projects in mind I want to check upon.
I think I better tell you guys I won't be in Ponyville for a day or two, Twilight Sparkle said. I finally got all my affairs in order and I'm already delayed a lot more than I should have. Rainbow Dash startled, looking disappointed.
Oh my! I did Twilight. What do you mean?
Rarity tilted her head. Twilight looked like she was trying to find the right words in a few moments, answering. There was a unicorn in Hoofington that AJ found out that Discord took a personal interest in breaking, like he did us for some reason, and she figures with my track record, I'm the best mare for the job of helping her.
That poor dear. How did Applejack find out?
She didn't tell me. She said she found out during their visit with the princess, however. Twilight Sparkle said, hoping Rarity didn't press for more details, like who said unicorn was. She was worried to think that her friend might not appreciate her taking the time out of helping Ponyville to help her.
Can't you wait until morning, get a good night's sleep and everything?
Rainbow Dash asked, uncharacteristically off balance. Sorry, Rainbow Dash, but I can't. I feel guilty delaying as long as I have already. A lump formed in Rainbow Dash's throat.
Maybe it's better this way. More time to work up the nerve, more time to work out what to say. No, screw it.
Twilight, before you, there is something really important I want you to talk to you about. Fluttershy, meanwhile, had to carry Pinkie Pie to her bedroom. As per instructions from Twilight, she had done a sweep of the room, twice, for any of Pinkie Pie's spare candy stashes. Pinkie Pie needs sleep, likely a few days' worth, and the professor determined she got to whether she liked it or not.
You know, I wasn't always Nerd Pony. I was actually Pegasus' next surprise. Yeah, I was a blonde. Why do you ask?
Fluttershy chuckled kindly to herself at Pinkie's nonsense in her sleep. She gently put the pinkette into the bed and pulled on the covers with her mouth. The cakes promised to take turns watching her, but Fluttershy volunteered for the first shift. She wondered what Pinkie Pie dreamed about.
Yes, Gummy, that's a beautiful window. You know what this calls for?
Pinkie Pie's eyes snapped open and she sat up in bed like a donkey in the box and shot up her forelegs.
A party!
An empty pipe hand made contact with Pinkie Pie's face less than a moment, leaving an impression.
I should catch up on my rest first.
And fall back into bed with her tongue hanging out.
Cruel.
Fluttershy whispered to herself harshly. She looked at the radiant reflection in the mirror next to Pinkie Pie's bed.
It's Flutter Cruel.
Fluttershy then said, her expression taking on a matter-of-factly slight agitated tone.
I didn't ask for a name like yours, but it's mine, and I'm going to keep it. That's not the point.
Fluttershy said, speaking to herself in the window, her expression became scolding.
How could you do that to Pinkie Pie? Do what?
Fluttershy said, her stance becoming more relaxed and innocent.
If I had nipped it in the bud, she had gone downstairs, declared the party back on, and dragged inside every pony she laid her eyes on, insisting on partying with her until they fell asleep on their hooves and had to be carted home. And isn't that what you and your friends were trying to stop and actually have her get some rest? Our friends, I know. But you didn't have to be so nasty about it. Oh, come on, Faye. You didn't know. You know she didn't feel thing with that thick skull of hers. I was actually already ready to hit her over the head with the stool next. And me, I may have more than all the memories. That doesn't make them my friends.
Fluttershy turned from the window and stood for a minute in silence in her vigil. In spite of Fluttershy's promise to make herself the alicorn who rose and Fluttershy the steed that carried her, that just now had perhaps the single largest act of defiance Fluttercruel done. Fluttershy could tell Fluttercruel wanted to trip one of her friends and laugh to their face, tell them how impotent they all were, but Fluttershy had easily been able to hold her back those times. Why hadn't she managed to catch Fluttershy off guard that time? Fluttershy wanted to say she could have simply sent Pinkie Pie to sleep, or Pinkie Pie would have pushed her enough to bring the stare to bear. But Fluttershy knew Pinkie Pie wasn't one for listening when she was revved up, and Fluttershy could never use the stare on one of her friends, no matter the good intentions. Fluttershy chose to drop the topic. I was hoping to introduce you to Pinkie Pie first, since you understand. Fluttershy crossed her arms and huffed. Psst, as if I needed your friends. No, Gilda, she's not the brightest bulb in a box, but dang, would she be fun to hang around with? Instead of cowering for the idea like Fluttercruel was making sure she would. Fluttershy said with an inner calm that would have made Princess Celestia proud, as she went into full Spitfire speak mode. Yes, dear, I can see very much how you two would get along. Both of you need to be meanies because you refuse to relate to anyone around you, so it's your only real means of expressing yourself. You only let others inside who remind you of yourself. Both of you don't want to admit how alone you really feel. Fluttershy snarled, her expression changed in an instant.
Shut up, shut up, shut up! You don't know anything, so stop spewing dragon fulments like you know me or someone you met twice.
Fluttershy's face stiffened slightly.
Oh, my, such language. We're gonna have to clean that mouth out.
Fluttershy's eyes bulged.
You wouldn't!
Fluttershy merely stood up, kissed Pinkie Pie in the head, pushed her tongue back in to keep from drooling on the bed, and then journeyed back from hunting to herself. Pinkie Pie looked around. A thick mist covered everything with a few colorful paper lanterns hanging from streamers. Pinkie Pie couldn't tell if she was standing on the floor or ground, but she didn't really care. After trying for a few seconds, she probably declared,
Whoa, a dream sequence! I always wanted one of those! Keep waiting,
said Pinkie Pie's own voice in a sullen, sarcastic tone. Pinkie Pie turned her head and galloped straight toward the source dead ahead.
Hi, Pinkamina!
Sitting on the stool from Shirikoo Corner sat another Pinkie Pie, but this one with a straight mane and tall and darker shades. Unlike Angry Pie, it was faded colors. She had her front hooves crossed in front of her chest, and with a somewhat sour look on her face. Pinkie Pie reached out to hug her alter ego, but ended up squashing flat against a thick 2-story tall glass wall right between them. Pinkamena just kept a straight, even almost bored face.
Wish I could say it was a pleasure.
Pinkie prided herself on a transparent barrier and trotted back and forth, keeping her eyes on her herself.
Oh, this is so cool! I can remember last time we got to talk like this. Are we gonna have a big fight scene in tribute to the hidden enemy Naruto, reuniting the famous fight between Master Jiara and the Sixth Path of Disharmony? Can Mount LaFleur be Alicorn Path?
In a perfectly straight voice, Pinkamena said, No, that scene got scrapped.
Oh, darn!
Pinkie somehow managed to snap her hoof in spite of not having fingers. Look, as much as I love that you're finally willing, or rather have to, speak to me, we have more pressing matters. Pinkie blinked and tilted her head innocent.
Oh, really? What?
Pinkie tapped against the glass wall.
I know you remember what happened in the ledge maze, even you're repressing it. I remember it, and how I know you do too. When Discord managed to get you into thinking your friends were laughing at you and not with you, you realized a few things besides thinking every pony around you was the enemy. What? That? That's over and done with.
Pinkie Pie laughed out loud.
Fly's spell reminded me how much fun I had with my friends, and Mr. Discord's playing a very mean prank on me.
Tell me, Pinkie, why do you think you were the one to turn into nasty?
Huh?
Pinkie Pie just looked at herself. Pinkie growled. Every time you're not wanted to face reality, you pulled me out of my nice, peaceful, dreamless sleep and forced me to be in the driver's seat so I had to deal with until it's safe for you to come out and play. I woke up when Discord began playing with you, but it was like I was coming up from the bottom of the lake and hit a foot-thick ice surface. So you were the one stuck dealing with your own problems for once. Pinkie looked stunned and a little unapologetic then, and rather subdued and polite tone.
Okay, I'm sorry, but then why are you here now then? Shouldn't you have gone back to bed?
It's not because I don't want to. I'm still awake, Pinkie, because there are still things you know, but still don't want to face. Pinkie mirror broke and put her hooves against a glass wall and gently put her forehead against the barrier. Why, Pinkie? Why you have to do this to me? I get to remember all the happy times, but the moment the bad times gets too bad, I'm the one who has to experience them. And as soon as things get wonderful again, I go back to sleep. Pinkie fought back tears. Please, just let me sleep, or take me back. Pinkie Pie took several steps back from the barrier as the sad Pinkie might suddenly break through the glass wall.
I can't! I don't want to think about those things! If I'm unhappy, it makes my friends unhappy, and I don't want my friends to be unhappy!
Aren't they my friends too? Pinkie whispered, then shuddered and regained her self-control. Pinkie Pie, when Discord made you angry, you realized the price for fun and games is that when we have something not related to fun and games, to say that we're ignored. Twilight even included that her face-to-face report to Princess Celestia when we were dealing with the parasprites. A lot of what we thought was just us being paranoid. Mr. and Mrs. Cake love us like their own foe, and our fans wanted that surprise party for our sake because they knew us well enough to know that we love surprises. We didn't think to explain to our friends how dangerous the parasprites really were, but it wasn't that simple to say everything we thought was just an angry fantasy. Our fun and games only made the situation with the cow ponies in Buffalo worse. We really didn't have any deep friendships until we made Twilight and the others. Pinkie Pie, we invented a muscle-powered flying machine, and because we came up with it, nobody sees us anything other than a toy. We could have been a great inventor. We have creativity coming out of our ears. We do? Pinkie Pie turned her head left and right, then she looked back into Pinkie Mina's express.
Oh, you mean one of those expressions? It could have been a lot of things, so we can't have any pony. AJ is almost main hand business pony. Rarity almost became a rock farmer, and Raymond Ash was almost straight to becoming Nightmare Moon's minion, and we were almost...
The point is, Pinkie, that while we love fun and games, like any pony we have, like any pony, when we have something serious to say, we want to be taken seriously. By the way we act makes nearly every pony think we can't be serious. You realized this when Discord tortured you, and you dumped all that on me. Except, I'm not going back to sleep, because it's all still staring at you in the face. Plus, Pinkie, seriously, look at us.
What about us?
We aren't, well, a pony's mind isn't meant to be divided like this. You broke me off for yourself and left me. You're incomplete. Just take me back! There was a very real hint of desperation in Pinkie Mia's voice. Pinkie Mia whispered, not being able to.
I can't.
Pinkie!
Pinkie Pie, the more you ignore the problem, the bigger it gets. And because you're so used to breaking off pieces of yourself, you don't want to face the fact that the damage to Discord wasn't repaired when Twilight reminded us how much our friends love us. You just pushed it aside like you have with every emotion you haven't wanted to experience. I've been there for 3 weeks, Pinkie, being aware but unable to interact. I think another part of you was aware I wanted to have a talk with you and didn't want you to have the chance.
Oh, that's silly. Just plain silly. It's so silly.
Pinkie Pie grinned so wild the wonderful top half of her head didn't fall off.
I've been partying day and night all this time because Mr. Discord had a lot of ponies on the inside. My party has been helping them feel better.
Then why did you refuse to take a nap when Mrs. Kate, Pinkie Pie swore she had kept the festivities going while you took a nap and you refused anyway?
Like, duh! Like I told you, I'm the best at parties, and Ponyville deserves the best parties around right now.
And why did you ignore Twilight when she told you that drinking so much coffee wasn't good for you?
I figured she was just wrong, like she was wrong our Pinkie sense being made up.
And you didn't think your friends were desperate and worried about you when they tried to tie you down to the bed to get you to sleep?
I thought they were just playing the game.
Pinkie! Pinkie snapped. Be serious! Pinkie Pie turned up her nose and crossed her hooves and said in an opposite voice,
I am completely serious about parties! Anything else isn't worth being serious about. Those things make me feel angry, feeling sad, feeling scared, and those bad feelings. Why would I want to? And you, I want me to take you back so badly anyway. You're just a big grumpy pants. You're as bad as me and Mr. Discord may think laughing is bad. It isn't. It isn't. It isn't. Why don't you go play the Rocky Mr. Turner Mad with Flowers or Lancelot? What's so important that you want us to be together again anyway?
Pinkie shuddered and whispered something. Pinkie leaned in closer and asked her to repeat, pressing her ear against the glass. Pinkie whispered, I want to sing. Pinkie Pie fell in a rump and screwed back several hoof falls. She looked positively terrified of her half now. Pinkie was only supposed to only feel angry, sad, scared, hurt. She wasn't supposed to want anything. What right did she have?
I won't let you!
Pinkie swore, feeling very strange, almost ill somehow. A strange warmness filled her, like a churning broth of rock soup.
You were supposed to disappear when I got my cutie mark. My songs are meant to make people happy. I won't let you sing sad or mean or scary songs.
Pinkie looked at her ego in a new sense of alarm. Pinkie, stop! With this divider between us, I can't take your anger. I haven't been able to assimilate what you experience when you're tamed by Discord yet. Calm down! Pinkie's head was spinning. Confusion waved through her head, but she didn't care.
Calm down! Pinkie-Mina! We'll have another soon enough, Pinkie-Mina. Please, we need to work on the rocks too, Pinkie-Mina. You'll understand why the farm rocks when you're older, Pinkie-Mina. I got you listen to the rest of me because I hate you!
Dizziness swarmed through Pinkie's head in an instant. She fell to her knees in a heap. A sensation not unlike vomiting convulsed through her. A light then shined bright enough that behind her, a shadow grew bigger and bigger, stretching out behind her like a flood of blackness against the suddenly painful, brightening landscape, divided between an abandoned rock farm and overused party grounds. The shadow condensed, pulled itself together, forging from unbidden thoughts and feelings denied their outlet. It took shape from that which was most familiar to it, that which understood it most, that which it was most denied. Pinkie Pie was covered in sweat. She felt like she had emptied out not only her stomach, but all her internal organs while she was at it. But not a single thing has left her mouth. The painful light began to dim acceptable levels to a diffused twilight. Pinkie? Pinkie said in horror.
Behind you!
Pinkie Pie turned. There before was another Pinkie Pie, but this one is the color grossly desaturated, leaving only ghostly traces of color on her. Her sparkling eyes completely contradict the vicious mouth full of nearly animalistic, frowning, grinding teeth. She had Pinkie's poofy hair.
Oh, are you like the a residue of Mr. Discord's evil magic inside, and I'm gonna beat you? Then you will use that magic for good and make rain chocolate milk?
Pinkie asked in her insane, fearful voice that contracted her twitching eye and fearful expression. Pinkie, that thing?
She didn't come from Discord. She came from us.
Pinkie Pie somehow kept her voice jovial, even though she was struggling to keep her knees from knocking.
Don't be silly. There's no way she came from me. I mean, just look at that round.
The gray Pinkie's massive, exposed teeth twisted upwards.
That's much better,
said Pinkie, her voice cracking as her eyes became pinpricks. The great Pinkie said her first words. Pinkie Pie said, not being able to understand what all this fear was coming from. The new pony looked friendly and below monotone.
More ponies? Don't worry. I'll wake up soon. We get the party in no time.
Pinkie said, feeling like she was caught between like a rock in the hard place. I want more. The great Pinkie said, I want more. I want more of us.
Well, just give me better to imagine other versions of me, and I'm sure I can fix that.
Pinkie Pie said, somehow not feeling relaxed like she should now.
Always pent up, always sealed away, always buried, always repressed. I finally have enough ego on my own. Me? Always has the answers I don't like. What is she talking about?
I told you, Pinkie, we're sick. We have been for a long time, and not for the reason that people thinking we are. Remember what Pa says? These types of stone, when you break it once, it's easy to break the rest. When you broke me off from you, you left cracks in yourself. She's broken off from you.
Really? What part?
I'm standing right here, you know, said the gray Pinkie Pie in a droll voice.
And what I am is angry. I also know what every pony thinks of me. How is that proof ignored? Hold it, I notice now. And I hate it! I hate a family who wouldn't adjust itself for me. I hate the new family that treats me like I'm still a foe. And I hate how every pony thinks I'm crazy because I eat differently from everybody else. Hate!
A shockingly censored when Angry Pie knocked Pinkie Pie on the rump.
It's time for us to be finally whole!
Angry Pie said darkly. Pinkie and Mina both gasped. Angry Pie ran straight for the glass wall. The Pinks expected it to shatter, or for her to leap over it. Instead, she went through it as if it were a hologram. Pinkie Mina braced herself, but instead of Angry Pie, ran straight for one of the old buildings on an abandoned rock farm. With an amount of super equine strength, she tore the shack roof and walls all off its foundation, revealing 4 ponies within. 2 earth ponies, one with a bucket of turnips cutie mark, and another with a rock in his rump, a Pegasus with a sack of flour on the flames, and finally a unicorn whose cutie mark was a pile of wet. The 4 ponies looked very surprised with the great Pinkie before them. Their reaction was slow, having been rustled from the peaceful dreamless sleep that has been denied Pinkie Mina. She let down Mr. Turnip and broke his neck with her bare hooves. His form became transparent and floated lifelessly inside her.
Turnip!
Smiling Flower gasped.
No! Leave them alone!
Pinkie Mina screamed at the top of the lungs, rushing Angry Pie who bucked her in the face, sending Pinkie Mina head over hooves backwards.
I'll do you in a second. Don't whine so much. This is what you wanted, right?
Rocky snarled and ran into Angry Pie's side, knocking her off balance while the flower took the air and Sir Lancelot charged with his horn lowered. Angry Pie stepped out of his line of sight, then suddenly on his back and used him as a springboard and leapt right on the flower. She was knocked off balance in a sudden impact, and Angry Pie took the chance to break the wings, making her fall. Rocky stomped his hooves, looking at Angry Pie, but speaking to Pinkie Mina. Run! I can't leave you. You're my... We're just figments. Don't let her hurt the others. Just go! Pinkie Mina blinked away tears and ran like Nightmare Moon herself was after her.
And what do you think there's anywhere to run from me in my own mind?
Angry Pie swore as she used the flower as a dive bomb right on top of Sir Lancelot, breaking his back. A few seconds later, his flower form became ghostly and floated inside Angry Pie. The flower... Lancelot, I ain't going down easy, chump! Rocky swore, breathing out through his nostrils, blowing dust in the rock fields.
I am so scared.
Angry Pie said flatly and growled.
You think it's a cheap samurai film? Where's the hero wins? He's 'cause he's outmatched? Oh, gonna show you wrong.
Pinkie Mina ran straight into the main farmhouse and screamed,
Both of you run now!
both parts inside the house shifted. Waking up from sleep, though, wasn't quite as dreamless as the figments in her own. One resembled Pinkie Mina, but with Pinkie's colors, and as a rock for a king and wore a bright-colored scarf. The other was a little filly, Blightflight, who looked very scared right now. They were all Pinkie Pies, so they all knew what was happening.
Diane! Take Pinkie and go. I can't pass through the barrier, but maybe you can. Maybe she won't risk come after you if you're near Pinkie Pie. But what about you? She's made all the things I was born to absorb. I'll be fine. None of you will be fine.
She turned to see Angry Pie, a beaten and bloody Rocky on her hooves. Funny, he wasn't full of rocks like she thought he'd be. Angry Pie now has a horse-shaped bruises over one eye and half of her face. She stomped on his throat and he was assimilated into her.
Now that the appetizers are done with, it's time for the main course.
She looked at Diane and Pinkie. The farm pony picked up the filling in their teeth and ran through the house to the other doorway. Angry Pie took a step forward and instantly got the mother of all head butts from Pinkie Mina.
Crossing over to this side was a big mistake. It's time for you to come home and stop this insanity. Rocky and the others are my friends. Isn't every pony always saying insanity is what Pinkie Pie does best behind her back?
The two earth ponies reeled after kicking each other. The little spore was trying to knock the other down, prone for the killing blow.
No! People say we're random, that we're spontaneous. Is that we split up in the absolute extremes. That's wrong. Why are you trying to stop me? I want us to be complete too. I want to join with all of us, not devour them. Come on, you know there's only going to be alicorn and a steed, and I refuse to be the steed anymore from a unicorn who won't face reality. This isn't how it has to work. Oh, shut up, me.
Angry Pie's tail whips Pinkie Mina in the eye.
And you made mistake of sending those two off where you can't go and can't protect them.
Pinkie Mina blinked and realized Angry Pie has already trotted off almost all the way back to the barrier. Her hastily and fear-inspired plan to protect the most vital parts of Pinkie's psyche falling apart around her. She ran back to the barrier. Pinkie Pie kept ramming her head against the barrier and hoping it would break, but all she was getting was headaches, and using the party tables as battering rams hadn't worked out either. When herself as a filly and an odd version of her didn't recognize came to the divider, she hit the wall. It wasn't solid for them like Pinkie and Pinkie Mina, or vapor like Angry Pie. It was like they were pushing through molasses, and when Tip of one hoop began to make its way through, Pinkie Pie pulled all her strength to get them through quicker. Pinkie instantly was at Pinkie's side, rubbing against a peaceful smile on her face, with tears gone for a moment.
Okay,
Pinkie looked down at Pinkie.
I can kind of guess maybe what she is, but what are you?
Diane spoke in a soft voice, not holding the hyperactivity Pinkie Pie was known for, so vital part of her.
I don't blame you for not recognizing me,
She said with complete honesty.
It's been so long. I couldn't stand how much we're leaving home, but you told me to be quiet, so I've been all this time. I know the love you have for you, your mom, dad, and sisters.
Diane lowered her head sadly.
And this is the first time we talked since we left the rock farm.
Pinkie Pie was stunned. Had she really broken away that part of herself? Had she really buried those emotions? Had she wanted to be free of that dark, gray, grimy, soulless, miserable place that badly? Yes, of course she had, but she really wanted to throw away her? Pinkie Pie felt horrid.
She stabbed you in the back, Diane, and now you're running for her protection.
I guess you ain't Pinkie's brains, snarled hurtfully Angry Pie as she leapt across the air on top of the three Pinkies and dove down like a dive bomber. It threw up dust and debris in every direction, creating the crater, but the barrier wasn't even marked. Pinkie Pie shook her head, and the dust settled and she saw Pinkie. Instead of killing and dissolving her, Angry Pie was pushing her inside herself. Like Angry Pie was cake batter and Pinkie was cherry. Pinkie struggled, crying and squirming as she futilely struggled.
Let her go!
Diane screamed before Pinkie could, and grabbed onto Pinkie and desperately pulled. She slowed her down, but only slowed.
and it was clear to all she would end up doing was getting absorbed herself. Diana's rare hopes are already sinking into angry pie. Pinkie! Pinkie made a call, hammering away the barrier with her hooves like mad like Pinkie's done a minute before. Pinkie looked at her, and looked at Diana and Pinkie being pulled into angry pie. She got her hooves and 2 steps towards him.
You can't save him like that!
Pinkie cried, no deceit in her voice.
Please, take me back! No!
Pinkie cried fearfully, her eyes locked in Pinkie Mina.
Pinkie?
Pinkie Mina's lower lip quivered. I know better than anyone how scared you are being hurt. I know how scared you are just struggling day by day instead of enjoying it all.
But that's all part of life, too! I don't want to forget how to love!
Pinkie shouted, and the heavens themselves thundered. Pinkie Mina slowed time as much as she could with what limited control she had. This all had to be said. Pinkie Pie, discord broke you, not just simply lying to you about your friends, but with what you feared the most. That you don't mean anything to the only real friends you made. But you also rubbed in our muscle that laughter can be cruel, that laughter can be hurtful, that jokes were softness when another person cries. And those laughter too, when you like it or not, and you didn't want to accept it. But it was so powerful you couldn't just shove it off either. I know all this because it's what you've been trying for 3 whole weeks without sleep not to think about. And for the first time in her entire existence, Pinkie Mina laughed. A tiny small half breath, but a laugh nonetheless. And when you stop and think about it, it makes sense. It would be rather silly that elements need a pony that helps them in their heart to work, unless they need someone's heart to guide them, to show them the difference between the laughter that brings friends together and the kind that pulls them apart. And can you be sure, so sure, that you know what it's like to laugh and you don't cry sometimes too? She couldn't keep time from marching at its normal pace anymore, and Pinkie's face and her front hooves were showing from Angry Pie's gray belly. And Diane's back hooves were now embezzled in Angry Pie as Diane futilely tried to pull the poor filly free. Pinkie Pie gingerly reached out and gingerly touched the glass wall where Pinkie Mina was. Millions of cracks appeared around its surface instantly, and the barrier glass collapsed and dissolved into nothing. The entire world shook. Angry Pie, Pinkie, and Diane all turned to the climactic sight as the wall has been in place for as long as any of them could remember came crashing down. And then the 2 main sides of herself touched hoof to hoof for the first time since they had been born. The explosion was blinding. The spear of white light that expanded from the contact port roared with a force all its own, before it had contracted and shrank back out. Like a black hole, it began pulling everything into it. Angry Pie braced herself, and Diane refused to let go of Pinkie. But where Diane's strength has failed her, this burst in and put Diane and Pinkie on Angry Pie's exposed belly, and the 2 fell just short of the spear of light. Diane hugged Pinkie for dear life. The explosion reversed itself completely, and at the flashpoint now stood a white Pegasus with curly blonde hair, violet eyes, and faded violet balloons for Kima. She grinned and shouted, "Surprise!" "No!" Angry Pie gasped.
Now,
said the pie cheerfully.
don't be sad. It's time to come home now. I don't want to die!
Angry Pie shouted furiously, producing a flamethrower from nowhere. She fired at Pegasus. An invisible spear protected Surprise, Pinkie, and Diane. Surprise giggled and shook her head.
So silly, we're not dying, we're joining. You're not gonna vanish, you're going to be whole!
Angry Pie put a grenade in her mouth with a nuclear symbol on it, and threw that Surprise resolved in a mushroom cloud.
That was a great bang for fireworks, but it wasn't really that pretty.
Cher waged right behind Angry Pie that made her yelp. She turned to see Surprise in the 2 aspects right behind her now.
Not possible!
Oh, dummy! Surprise said in the word holding no malice or condescends.
Of course it's possible! This is all in our hands, like duh!
It's okay, don't worry, we're finally going to be well, said Diane with a Pinkie nuzzling in her chest.
There's nothing about me that needs to be made well!
The Surprise right on top of her, the size of an alicorn.
Then you won't mind a be well kiss, right?
Pinkie Pie stepped back and slipped on a mass of marbles, leaving her with a sore reel.
Surprise!
The Pegasus laughed and leaned down and kissed her on her forehead, both were enveloped in life and where it was done. Surprise stood, now with gray lines along her feathers, giving her shame and depth. She sighed and looked at Diane and Pinkie. You guys ready?
I've been ready since we left home.
Diane nodded quickly.
Silly, we have a new home now.
There's no rule that says somehow someone can't have two homes. Diane's reply was instant. Surprise held her head.
I guess so. Okay, here we go. The Grand Pinkie Diane Pie Unification!
Trumpets blared and confetti showered from the heavens above with uplifting music. Still holding Pinkie, Diane hugged herself. The entire world became light. Pinkie Pie opened her eyes, has a strange urge to be on the lookout for pie fans, and slowly sat up in bed.
Oh, my, you're awake!
Pinkie Pie turned her head to see Fluttershy next to her bed with a blanket covered in yellow Pegasus and holes specifically made for Fluttershy's wings. Fluttershy dropped what she was holding and hugged the pink pony. Pinkie Pie not only happily hugged back.
Yeah, for a quick nap, that really helped me out.
Fluttershy looked down a little embarrassed.
Pinkie Pie, you've been asleep for practically 3 days.
Almost 4. Mr. and Mrs. Cake are starting to talk about the best way to feed you in your sleep. Pinkie Pie broke the hug surprise.
3 days? Feels like a lot less.
Well, you kind of pushed yourself really hard. Twilight, before she left, she seemed really worried you were going to fall over. You keep going like you were. Worrying said she wouldn't be surprised if you've been out for a week.
Maybe I should take another nap then.
Pinkie suggested in a pleasant, unironic tone. Fluttershy shuddered.
Oh, no, that's quite alright. I know everyone's going to be happy that you're up and about again. Though maybe you should take it a little bit easier first, just until you get your strength back. Okay, I'm hungry. Want waffles? Maybe a tiny bit later.
Pinkie Pie finally noticed what Fluttershy had dropped.
Flutter out?
Pinkie acted as if Pinkie Pie caught her reading dirty play mirror.
Oh, yes. I was going to do just one shift, but I realized I might work out a bit more if I was the one looking after you. And I thought I should be sharing meetings with a little filly I've gotten to know. She doesn't have anyone else, so I thought it'd be best to look after her for now. She's been very stubborn about her policing, but I think some advice from Mary and Shirley has helped. She sounds like she gets a party getter and wants to see what it's like for other folks to be nice to her. When should I meet her? When you're back up to 100%, she can be very taxing.
Pinkie let out a giggle over 100%, given what she had gone through. Fluttershy didn't notice she quickly covered her move when the unbidden laugh escaped her mouth, her body shifting from fraction of a moment.
Fluttershy? Yes, Pinkie Pie? I want to say I'm sorry for making you all worry about me. This isn't what my friends are supposed to do. They're supposed to be there for each other, like you were for me. I'm sorry for not seeing it.
Pinkie Pie grunted.
Fluttershy, can you help out here? Of course.
Fluttershy led Pinkie to use her as a crutch, as Pinkie then made her way to a seat by the window she pushed open, breathing in the fresh and direct sunlight. She looked in the town below, looking at the same as it had years ago, but the ponies themselves tell a different story.
It's beautiful, isn't it, Fluttershy? I know that fun and games are going to be the only thing these ponies that we need to heal, but I'm sure it can help. I think maybe what most of them need is just someone who is willing to listen and help laugh away their fears. Maybe Applejack is on the right track.
Fluttershy looked intensely at Pinkie Pie. Was this really Pinkie Pie? She looks like Pinkie Pie, sounded like Pinkie Pie, smells like Pinkie Pie, and no other pony had a poofy hairstyle, but she seemed more centered, more focused, but still playful. It reminded Fluttershy of how AJ began acting after a visit to the princess, and how Rary began to act after she made that solo expedition in the Diamond Dogs, and thunder struck Fluttershy's skull.
And like how I've been acting since I took Fluttercruel in? I haven't noticed,
Fluttercruel thought back.
You wouldn't, but you taught me, dear. Those who deserve kindness the least can also be the ones who need it the most. That's dumb. Oh, I don't know. I
Oracle mentally grumbled.
How the equestrian began? How was the future looks? Why do fools fall in love? What happens to their souls?
Clues to life's mysteries are what we hope to find. Always reaching for a reason, searching for a sign. Fluttershy starts hearing a little slow-paced, distinct but warm-feeling song. It took her a few seconds to realize that Pinkie Pie singing.
To know the unknown doesn't mean much to me. To know the unknown, the secrets are just meant to be. I don't want all the answers, cause one thing is true. As long as my heart beats, I'll always love you.
Make her stop!
No, listen very carefully, dear. This note is letting something on heart instead of to it.
It took a minute for Pinkie Pie to remember the address of her family's rock farm, but when she did, it was clear as day, as the majority of memories are not directly related to humor and cold storage. But then she realized she had lost to tell him.
Our ponies on other words. What's the magic of our friends? What dreams really mean? Will desert your eyes with the wish? Everybody's wondering, trying to understand. And all the revelations on a castle in the sand.
Fluttershy couldn't help but think how different the song was when Pinkie Pie's normally high-pitched song with their fast beats and lightning notes. But at the same time, Fluttershy couldn't deny the song was Pinkie Pie.
I don't need all the answers, cause one thing is true. As long as you return, so we love you. You don't have to tell me just why you went away. Knows it how better, there's nothing more to say. All I really need to know is that you're here to stay. So I don't need to know the unknown.
Pinkie Pie got a group hug from the majority of her friends and foster family, and soon she came downstairs to fill her empty belly. She let herself have a good cry. She was sure to tell her family and friends that she wasn't happy or sad. She just felt she needed a good cry right now. She felt like there has been always a blind spot somewhere in her that was gone now. She was whole, and that meant she could guide the element of laughter as a whole pony, and another truth to caution mind.
I'm free!
And she didn't know why she kept coming up with excuses for herself to go visit the narwhal again. She had what she had wanted from the narwhal. The business was concluded, and more she visit weren't likely the real reason for visiting the narwhal petition unlike Flutter. She told herself that the narwhal was willing to teach how to sew properly for free, and if she was foolish enough to do that, then she should take advantage of the opportunity like a papa always says a smart pony should do. And while a high-class pony like herself would never need to know how to sew, her mother hadn't liked it, and it would be annoying to have her muzzle and hooves covered in needle marks again if she chose to produce a second gift of the same sort for her mother. Yes, there's no way she'd be enjoying the company of the narwhal. There was no way a narwhal could remind her of her mother before her doctors took her away. At least the narwhal politely arranged their meeting times, and the blank-flanked marshmallow narwhal called little sister was off for her blank-flanked friends, so she wouldn't have to face him and learn that it's just million endeavor and likely create another potential security leak. Though visiting the narwhal did make her feel funny, a strange swimming sensation to her chest that rushed all the way up to her brain and made her question herself, which only scared her. But she was a high-class pony, so she was sure she had the sewing game down past soon enough. The brown and gray stallion in her dreams, the one with the king like of arrows going off in every direction, keeps telling her that visiting the narwhal was a bad thing, that it would corrupt her, damage her. She continued for now. Not she was about to ignore what the pony with the red and yellow eyes in her dreams was offering, of course. You have laughed at the expense of others. You have lied to your own mother. You have been vicious to your fillies your own age. You soon died and shared what is yours. You have abandoned and been awful to your only friend. You wish for a world where your mother is normal. Where is she? Well, betrayed the narwhal, undo the final lock, open the door, and accept my majesty. And Diamond Tiara pathetically struggled to understand why she had not yet done so. In Hoofyton Equestria, yes, I'm Tonic Sparkle. Is Trixie here? Most decidedly not the end.
Oh, that's a long time and long chapter.
So, wow. Actually, can't believe it. So, Well, hey, every pony. Twilight Sparkle, what are you doing? My story is next.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it, Twilight Sparkle.
Well, you'll have to tune in for next time. So this has been Agent Fluffy, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hi, you're